So when I secured my very first engineering internship, I actually had zero professional experience to work with in those applications. Yeah, I had no lab research with professors. I hadn't joined any engineering competitions held at the school. I wasn't in the co-op program, and I hadn't even joined any design clubs. But it was because I was able to effectively showcase the limited experiences that I did have that I was able to get my first offer within only a 2-week time period on the job hunt. So suffice to say, it doesn't matter where you're at, even if you're 2 months into university, because there's absolutely a list of several things you could put inside of your resume. So I myself have currently finished 3 years of the mechanical engineering program, and this right here is all of the projects pretty much that I could think of, at least, that I've done throughout those 3 years. So you most likely have a similar experience to what I had in school, because all engineering students, no matter which school you go to, takes a shit ton of courses. You can't tell me you don't have a lot of projects, because this is my first year, 5 projects. My first year I had 5 projects already. So I'm sure that you're in a similar situation. Okay, so any job you could think of, any position you want to get into, specifically internships we're talking here, any of these projects could tailor to them. Okay, so let's look at some examples. Say you want to go into project management engineering. Look at these projects. There's already 4 that line up with that. And I could talk about that in my resume, in my cover letter. I could talk about the leadership skills, the communication skills, the teamwork skills, and the time management skills that were sort of seen as appealing in the eyes of the recruiters who are looking for project manager interns. Just tailor the skills that you're going to display in your cover letter and your resume to the position that you're wanting to go into by talking about these course projects that you had. Okay, and I can tell you, so many people are blind to this fact that you could use course projects to showcase the skills that are necessary for the job that you're applying to. Okay, so I can honestly say that nobody at all has told me how you could use your course projects and put them in your resume, portfolio, and your cover letter. So you're in luck today, because I actually show you how to do that inside of the link down in the description, because there is a module inside of the video course that I made that shows you how you could use your course projects and sort of leverage them and utilize them to stand out to recruiters of your desired position. Okay, so click the top link down below. I also includes templates for resumes, portfolios, and cover letters, so you don't have to go through the trouble of making it all pretty. Okay, I did that all for you. Okay, so you could click the link and you get access to that as well. And that's a pretty nice bonus. So let's look at another example, okay? So me personally, I wanted to be a product design engineer, okay? So some examples I could have used was these 4 that I highlighted here, right? Because I show some CAD skills, some drawing skills, and some FEA that are needed for product design engineering, right? So let's look at one more example, biomedical engineering. That's honestly, I'm not interested in that at all. But if I was, look at these. I have 3 different projects from courses that I could talk about for the biomedical engineering position, right? Because they're going to want someone with a health background. They want someone who knows how to code, like machine learning and coding that sort of looks for diseases or whatever. And they're going to want someone that knows a background in vibrations, because like they track the heartbeat and whatever else they look for in biomedical engineering. So I hope you can see now how powerful course projects are for your job hunt. You can use pretty much any course project that you've done in the past to get a position as an intern. All right, so keep that in mind. And you might also be thinking, oh, what if I want to be a hardware engineer? Okay, that's obviously not going to tailor to me, because I'm a mechanical engineering student. And if you're wanting to go into the hardware engineering positions, then you're probably an electrical engineer. So look at your own courses, okay? Don't just look at mine, okay? Look at your own courses, because those courses that you have are going to tailor to the types of jobs that you potentially will be interested in, okay? So if I'm a mechanical engineering student, I might be looking for product design, HVAC. I might be looking for aerospace engineering, okay? And if you're an electrical student, you might be looking for electronics engineering, hardware engineering, as I said. If you're civil, you might be doing structural, concrete engineering or whatever. The next one is course labs. Course labs are also important to talk about if you truly have minimal things to talk about for course projects. Now, I know first year students might not have as many projects as I did in first year. So if you're in that type of situation, you're going to want to leverage the course labs, because what else is your option, right? What else is your option if you're looking right now and you're in a rush? Your only option is to use what you got, right? You don't have time to do personal projects, which is what I'm going to be talking about for my third point. But labs are also useful. You can talk about them very much in detail, because look at this. These are all the labs. I might have forgot some, but these are the labs that I took throughout my theory years. And make them, when you're talking about them in your resume and cover letter, you're going to want to make a refined and concise, detailed few sentences of the report that you made for that lab. Because we all have to make reports for the labs. Yeah, it sucks. But you could use those important details that were in that report as fuel to your cover letters and fuel to your resumes, and when you're talking to the interviewers. So make sure you have a good idea of what you did throughout all of your labs, as I said earlier. Okay. So I mentioned this already, but personal projects. Now this is actually going to be the most effective thing you could do if you have no official experience, no professional industrial experience. So personal projects can actually be much more beneficial to design club projects in some ways, because when you do personal projects, you're showing that you have initiative. You can actually make more projects if you do personal projects, because when you're in design clubs, most of the time you don't get quantity of results. You're always like tweaking super finely. But if you do mini projects, if you do a lot of mini projects, then you could sort of branch out and show your different interests to the company, right? We're probably looking for 4 to 6 different projects on our design portfolio. So if you could make more quantity, then that's also beneficial to, in contrast to more quality, because they're not really expecting super professional work from you, as you are just a student, right? And that's perfectly fine, right? Because if you do these personal projects, they're not going to be perfect. But when you do personal projects, more quantity, more things to show in your design portfolio, more things to talk about in your cover letter, and more things to show in your resume, and more things to talk about during the interview. Because you've sort of, it might be look like an illusion, but it sort of looks like you've done more when you have more quantity. And it also shows your personal passion when you make personal projects. Okay, it shows that you followed what you wanted to do, not what this design club wanted to do, right? So here's a few examples of what I did for personal projects. Here we got quite a few, and I also just highlighted and read the types of skills that I used. And by the way, for your design portfolios, you specifically want to showcase your hard skills. And these personal projects sort of actually really depend on hard skills. Because like, look at this, CAD and machinery, that's hard skills, man. Freaking 3D printing, Arduino, those are hard skills. That's the definition of hard skills. So when you're doing these personal projects, try to showcase your hard skills as much as possible. Okay, so here's an example, by the way. One of the industries that I wanted to go into, just one of them, was automotive. And as you can see, I made a lot of them, more than half actually. Half of my projects were sort of tailored to automotive. So I covered gear principles, machinery principles, a bit of thermodynamics also. And that was for the automotive industry, because they're probably looking for someone who knows about transmission, who knows about combustion, all that type of stuff, right? And I also wanted to be a product design engineer. And here we got CAD and 3D printing that shows that I know how to prototype and that I know how to 3D model using CAD softwares, right? So yeah, that's how you tailor to your desired position. Let's look at another one of my desired positions, industrial manufacturing. I was also interested in that, so what did I do? I made some projects that were tailored to that. And those also included the hard skills required for my desired position, which I said was product design. Another example was robotics, just a bit of an interest. So I made a robotic arm, which is just a model. That's something I would call a mini project when you're just using just a few hard skills and not really any results. Stuff like models. And then we got this potentiometer operated gripper, which include 3D printing, CAD, Arduino. Those are all hard skills that are looked for in the robotics industry. So here's the powerful part, okay? Let me tell you something. Even if you get rejected from all of your desired industries, there's a high chance that you get into your desired position. So say I get rejected from automotive, robotics, and industrial manufacturing. There's a high chance that I get into product design engineering. Why? Because I showcased those soft skills that were required and qualified for that position. Because let's be honest, we're going to be applying everywhere when we're looking for internships, right? So we're going to apply to as many product design engineer positions as possible. And not all of them are going to be for our desired industry. So those ones that aren't in that desired industry, they're also going to have a high chance of hiring us. Okay, so keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Don't be down when you don't get your desired industry, because you're really likely to get your desired position when you showcase those hard skills, okay? So that is the types of things that you could fill your resume, your cover letter, and your design portfolio up with, even if you have zero professional experience and haven't even joined a design club before, okay? So these are the types of things you could do: course projects, course labs, and personal projects. Now, if you want further guidance on how to get an internship, even if you have zero professional experience, I can show you, because as I said, I was in the exact same shoes that you were once before. Okay, so click the link down below that leads to a program that shows you step by step how to apply, how to nail interviews, and I also include templates as a bonus for resumes, cover letters, and portfolios. So click the link down below and join today.